Hi everybody, welcome to the Rambling Toffee podcast. I am Mark. I hope everybody's had a good week and looking forward to the weekend ahead. We are now 16 days until the football season starts. And the concerning thing for me is that will we get a striker in? Will we get more players in before we kick off against Fulham in 2 weeks' time? 16 days. We've had God knows how long a period of time to get strikers in. To get players in, even if it's loan or if it's free. We've had opportunities. There must be opportunities out there for players out there who are desperate for clubs, who are desperate, want to get back into the game and get the opportunity to play in the Premier League. And nothing again is nothing's happening. The only thing that has happened is the Toure situation where we've obviously offered the club a certain amount of money, and it looks like we're going down the road of paying instalment options over whatever period of time. I don't know, because obviously the club will keep those kind of deals very, very quiet and not tell anybody about it, which I can understand. But obviously something was agreed. But the player, it's simple on this term, the player decided that he wants to go to Atalanta and play in Europe, which is fine with him, and I think his development will probably be better off there than coming to Everton at this precise moment. And the thinking is very, very simple. If you think about a lot of the young players that we have who are got the potential there, are going off to going on loan, or something like Ellis Sims, who was in the first team but really didn't get that much opportunity, except for the game against Chelsea, of course, where he scored that fantastic goal when he came on. But he's a championship level, and selling those type of players and getting money, the best money you can possibly can, because of the financial situation that we're in. And it's so frustrating that at this moment in time, we have a striker who is continually being injured and is struggling to get back to full fitness. And this has been like that for nearly probably a year and a half. And in that year and a half time, or 2 years, we have been desperate for striker reinforcements. Now, it's all well and good. Anybody else can actually say, well, the club signed Neil Maupay. The problem with that is that was a recruitment decision. So Kevin Felwell, at that point in time, looked at Neil Maupay and thought he will fit in to Frank Lampard's team and will do a job. The expectation at that point when bringing him in, he would actually probably play maybe off Dominic Calvert-Lewin, or maybe it would have been a two up front. But Frank Lampard didn't play that system. He didn't play two strikers up front. He was playing Calvert-Lewin up front by himself. But because Dominic Calvert-Lewin was injured before the start of last season, Neil Maupay, smaller, he doesn't fit into that. So the decision why we actually signed him is still a baffling one. So I would always put this on the director of football on that occasion for bringing him in and bringing that player in who doesn't fit into Frank Lampard's way of playing. So in that instance, that really is on him. And it doesn't matter if he went through the usual process where you go, Kevin knocks on the door of the chairman and goes, "Oh, we're interested in Neil Maupay. He's available for this amount of money, and we can get him." Okay. Brighton were desperate to get rid of him. Obviously, they felt that he's done his time at Brighton, and he is now past that point where they want better players. That shows an improvement with Brighton. That's for another story. So you bring him in, and you go, yeah, as I mentioned, you go to the chairman. Okay, all right. He goes to signs it off, goes to Farhad. Okay, we can do that. Get the deal done. And everybody's fine. Oh, great, we've got a signing, got a striker coming in. But we hoped that he would come in with the potential to do a job. And he scored one goal in the whole season. And we've tried every other avenue. We tried Damari Gray up front. We brought Ellis Sims back. We tried different players in that position, which has been vacated because of the injury with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So when you look at that point in time, the club should have been and still should be, looking for that striker to come in. And they may have looked and worked extremely hard to try and bring that player in. But if you look at the market out there, what player are they looking at? What we need is a competent striker who has whatever league they have been in, even if it's Premier League experience. Look, we've got Inacho is available. He's out there. Why aren't we look? We're hearing that we're supposedly interested in him, but there's been no concrete bids or concrete offers of what's actually happening. Is it back down to this wonderful thing where Leicester maybe they've put an offer in, and Leicester probably reboot it because it's a payment terms over say 3-4 years, and Leicester may think, well, no, we want the money up front. So I don't know, but because the club don't communicate what their plan is going forward. What is their plan going forward to take this team forward? I say that how many times to get to be more stronger and ready for the Premier League season. What is that plan going forward? We were supposed to have this interview with Kevin Falwell in June. We're nearly in August. Nothing has come out about that interview. Nothing about what the plans going forward to take this club to become more competent and be better in the league and actually not be struggling again. Because at this moment in time, the only additions are Ashley Young and Danjuma. Now, Danjuma will actually give us some sort of creativity going forward, and if Calvert-Lewin's going to be not fit, it's looking likely he will probably take that position as the main striker. In the meantime, now we'll see how that pans out, but at the moment we need an extra striker. Dominic Calvert-Lewin we need to not be focusing on him. We need to not be thinking about him and thinking, oh God, when's he coming back? When's he going to get back? And all our eggs are in one basket. We need to forget about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We need to be focusing on other strikers who can come in and can come in and be reliable enough and to be able to give us as a fan base some real confidence that we can start the season and actually score goals. This preseason proves it that we can't score goals. We can get in other positions, we can play some wonderful football, and we did see some of that, especially in the first half I saw against Bolton. And some of the players have not come back, but we need that kind of performance. But when you get right into the box to get an opportunity, we're not getting that many opportunities, and that actually, we need somebody in that box doing the job. So this is where what is concerning me is that are we going to get a player in of that kind of caliber striker similar to Torre and Iniacho or any kind of striker with real good proven quality to come into the team? Are we going to get that in 16 days time? I bloody hope so. Sorry I swore. I bloody hope so that we can get that player in. And but it reverts all the way back. And I've talked about this on several podcasts, and I keep on banging my head against the wall. It comes back at the end of the day. We can talk about Kevin Falwell, and we can talk about the director of football doing their job, and they can request and they can recommend these players, and they want these players to come in, striker, midfield, whatever position that they want to bring in. They can recommend it, but they go to the chief negotiator, who, we can try and sort that out. We'll go to the clubs and we'll do this and do that. and it doesn't happen. Why? Because clubs, not all clubs, want to do over payment instalments over several years. They want money up front. We're still in a very in this country with the finances are very, very tight. It's a cost of living crisis. Money's a bit tighter. We're spending a lot more money, hopefully investing money more in the stadium. Okay, that's coming through MSP and through investors, and we've still not heard anything about that. But I keep on banging my head against the window, the door, the wall. Basically, what is Bill Kenwright doing? Why is he still the chief negotiator of the transfer business? Why is Farhad Mashiri still confident in his experience of dealing with transfers and bringing players into the football? Where's that confidence come from? Because that confidence is not coming from the fan base. I don't think it's come from many journalists out there who said they're quite confident that Bill Kenwright is confident kind of negotiator to bring these players in. Where's that come from? Yes, he's brought players in, but they've always dragged out. These always take time. They're just frustrating. And the thing is, though, patience is a virtue. And trying to keep my patience and trying to keep my hope is dwindling and dwindling by the day. Bill Kenwright was part of a failed board. He's been part of a failed board for the last 7 years and even longer. But I'm referring more to 7 years, and ever since Farhad Mashiri has come into this football club. He should have gone when the rest of the board had gone. And we should have had new people in, fresh impetus, fresh ideas, fresh ways of doing things and doing it better. Because at the end of the day, what I want, we all want. We want a better Everton Football Club. We want a football club not just off the field, not just with a wonderful stadium, which is absolutely fantastic. And and I'm being positive, I love what I'm seeing with the stadium. And it's flying up there, and we can see what you can do if you do things right and you put the right people in charge, and you can see where it's going. And it's going to be a fabulous stadium when it's built and when we all move into it. So I'm excited with that. And I hope and I love the stuff that the club do put out regarding that. But again, this same club can't do anything that is football related. A day-to-day running of a football club, getting the right players in, getting the right blends in, help supporting, Sean Dyche, supporting Kevin Felwell, doing the right things. And we're at this point in time, so ever since that resignations have taken place, we now have a transitional board. I've talked about this last week, and I'll keep on banging my head against it again this week. We have a transitional board, but we've not heard anything regarding MSP. When's it going to be signed off? When are we going to get confirmation that we get new board members, new CEO, new chairman, new finance director, new people coming in with fresh ideas, fresh impetus, fresh direction for the football team and the football club itself and going in that right pathway? I am fed up. I'm sorry about this. I'm fed up with this idea that from the board itself, we're getting into the stadium. As soon as we're in the stadium, all these wonderful things will happen. We'll get this amount of money. We'll get commercial deals. We'll get stadium sponsors. We'll get, all sorts of wonderful things. The restaurants, all the wonderful things we're going to get. And all that money that will come in and everything around the stadium, hotels and restaurants and so on and so forth. All these wonderful things will generate so much money. Great. But that's in about a year and a half's time. Hopefully a year. Hopefully in a season's time. Hopefully we're moving before December. We don't know. But if it's a year and a half away, it's a year and a half away. We're in the now, not year and a half. Apologies. Something has to give here. The club don't communicate. As I mentioned about Kevin Felwell, he does an interview with the club. They don't put it out. We're still waiting. And now, when we do hear about the signing of Dan Juma or Ashley Young, he speaks a little bit more about the decision why he went after that, kept going back for Dan Juma on a loan for this season, and why he went for Ashley Young. And I can understand the thinking. So he's doing little interviews or little things in them interviews, and in them statements. So fine and dandy, but we need him to sit down and tell us this is what we want to do, this is the direction we want to take it in. But we don't. Where are we going to get that interview before the season starts? It feels like we're not going to. And because of the lack of communication coming from the board and from the owner and any kind of information from MSP, you would have thought there would be some sort of information out there that we can all take a bit of it, but there is nothing there. And it's just going on and on and on. When are we going to find out about this? Is it going to be after the transfer window ends? Which I've heard some people say that when the transfer window ends, we'll find out more about MSP, because then it'll be like a new start, and then they can come in, change everything, and get everything in place for January. I don't know. This is just me speculating, and I don't know. But for me, again, as I've mentioned before, and I'll mention again and again and again, this club just needs to, sit up, listen to its fan base, communicate a lot more, engage a lot more with us. I know that we've got the fan advisory board out there, and we've got the fans forum, we've got people like that, but they need to be banging on the door and saying, "Come on, talk to us, help us out, help the fan base out, give us some direction of where we're going." Because at the moment, I don't know where we're going. I'm struggling because I'm concerned that we're going to have another season of struggle and another season of being in a relegation dogfight. And this time, if we don't get the striking situation sorted out and we don't strengthen it in the areas that we need, then we're going to be in a position again, and it's going to be a long season. And this time we may get relegated. But I can have all my confidence in Sean Dyche and what he came when he came in and did what he did, and getting like Dwight McNeil becoming one of our main players, and Alex Welby showing signs that he can be a good player for us. And and there's some positives that he's brought in, and we need to hopefully with what he can do can actually get us better and be in a better position. I hope with a new striker coming in, I'm hoping with the strengthening, probably another defender. We need another centre back. We need a little bit more strength, because at the moment there's rumours about Demarai Gray maybe moving on, so we're going to lose another winger. So it's kind of getting the right players in if we can, but we need, priority is to have a striker in who, before the season starts, before the Fulham game, because it would give us all a boost that we've got a striker there. We've got Dan Juma's come in, who can also be a striker, but also we put him on the wing. We can be a little bit confident. I think the central midfield, we do need a little bit more protection in there, but that can come after and up to September, because we've got Anana who's come back now. Hopefully we'll have a better season. We've got James Garner, hopefully will kick on from what we've seen when he's come into the team after his injuries from last season and get better and better. And we got Jared Braithwaite, who will hopefully take the position that Michael Keane has been having, and also Yerry Mina has been in that place. Take that position with James Tarkowski. And we've got Ashley Young, who, he's 38, but it seems to be that, okay, so pre-season, but he's come in and he seems to help strengthen the defence a little bit more. So we've got a little bit more competition for Mikalenko. And we've got Patterson as well, James Patterson on the other side, and hopefully with Seamus coming back. So defensively, if we can get maybe one more central defender in to give some more competition, the likes of Michael Keane and Mason Holgate can probably move on, not or be squad player. That's what my thinking on that front. And I just in the midfield we've got Garner Gay, who actually I'm near the end of the season showed what flashes of what he's really good at and what he's capable of. And of course, Onana, hopefully he'll improve further. Alex Iwobi, yeah, still frustrates me. Still does what he does. 1 minute he can do some wonderful things. The next minute he can, yeah, basically frustrate you. And of course, with Danjuma coming in, hopefully he'll show what he is capable and what he did at Villarreal and at Bournemouth as well. So while he's been at Bournemouth and what he can actually do for us. So we'll see on that front. So hopefully, if we can get a striker in before the season start and let him settle in, and we can hit the ground running, hopefully Dominic Calvert-Lewin will be fit before the start of the season. But we just don't know on that front. So, and we got Lewis Dobbins who show flashes in what he can do for us. So maybe he might take a squad, be on the subs bench and get opportunities as the season go on. We'll see how that pans out. But as I said before, apologies. There's positivity there, but until we bring a striker in and we get something sorted in that, I just don't. I just fear that we're not going to score as many goals again as we did last season. And it's all as I said before, it's all well and good you getting in those positions and playing really well and doing some the passing and movement and playing well in that sense. You need somebody on the end of it. And if it's not going to be Calvert-Lewin, we need a striker in there to do that job. So yes, so that's today's podcast. Apologies for the rant, but it's just how I feel at this moment in time. Next week is going to be a special podcast because we've got a Tom Bennett who is actually part of the Long Island Everton Supporters Club, who will be coming on the podcast to talk about supporting the Blues and also about the club over there and how many members they have and what sort of things that they do regarding going to watching Everton, especially in Long Island. So keep an ear on that. That will be done next Saturday. So for the time being, thank you very much for listening to this podcast. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you soon. Keep on rambling.